fire signs. This is going to be your general mini cross reading for February 2022. This will be a general reading for the signs of Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. The messages will not resonate with everyone, so I suggest that you check back to the other elementals for your moon and rising sign. There may be more information there for you. The story may resonate more, but also do check on the sun, moon, and rising signs of those people that you are involved with that are in your life. I am recording this on January 7th, so it's almost a full month out. I'm trying to stay ahead of the game, so to speak. But the truth of the matter is that we are literally already through the first week of January. And in 3 more weeks, we will be in February of 2022, already into the second month of the new year. And so I think it's important that I kind of get these out to you and try to get them out to you as soon as I can. Now, I did some meditation and shuffling on both the fire glyph and the glyphs for Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And I did some meditation and shuffling on that, and I had a card appear. And so let me first tell you, we're going to be using the Radiant White deck. We'll be clarifying with Levita Sibila. And for this month of February, you're going to get a chance to pose and answer a question to the Psychic Oracle Tarot. Okay, and the card that presented itself, welcome new subscribers. Welcome old members, old subscribers that are still here with me. I appreciate it. Thank you. I had the Judgment reversed. Now, if you're new to my style of reading and my channel, reverse cards just don't speak to me. And I'm a firm believer that if it's something negative or something that that needs to be brought to your attention, that's going to come out even in an upright card. Okay, it's not the card itself that I'm reading, it is the energies of the card. Okay, I read energies, not cards. So I will say that I got this odd, which is something that I've never gotten from the Judgment card, right side up or any other way. This picture came to mind of a church. I want to say it's a church. And if not a church, it's some type of institution or organization. That's what came across to me. The building kind of looks like a church or reminds me of a church, but it's an official edifice. Let me put it that way. Okay, and that just leaped out at me off of the card, even though there's nothing like that on the card. Okay, so that's first. So because it doesn't speak to me, I had to go to my book to figure out what the card is saying. And I went to the book, and one of the first things that it says is that when this card shows up reversed, it is an indication of being, in a situation that you feel you cannot get out of. Let me go back to that. Because the reverse keywords are loneliness, self-pity, negative attitudes, delays, confrontations, postponements, hasty judgments, weakness, indecision, disputes, regrets, remorse, dissatisfaction, a fear of letting go, imbalance, and imprisonment. And this one says it tells of wanting to leave a situation but not knowing exactly how to escape. And I don't think necessarily that anybody is being held against their will, but I think it just feels as though you may be involved in something or with a group of people or with some type of organization, and you're not exactly sure how you can get out of that. That came across. So that church, that edifice, that building, that organizational feeling that I felt, that's what it's speaking to me about. It speaks to being despondent, uneasy, and or lonely, or feeling sorry for oneself. And it signifies that a change needs to be made. Having feelings of regret and remorse and dissatisfaction about the way things turned out. And it says that this self-condemnation is damaging and unwarranted. And it asks you to accept the circumstances of what has taken place in the past and then move on. take heed of these feelings because they are a very strong message. If you're in a situation that's making you feel that way, then it's time to leave. Okay? It can be that you are a victim of poor judgment and decision making. It asks that you not allow fear to hold you back or be locked into an unsatisfactory situation. It implies that confrontations may arise from biased opinions, creating conflict. It tells that you may be blaming others for your own problems instead of applying yourself to finding solutions. You are warned that procrastination prolongs the delay of whatever this is. If you dragging your feet, you're not going to get out of it until you put some fire under your butt. Okay? It can also tell of someone who may be too involved with the spiritual aspects. And there is a need for this person to be more grounded and to live in the real world. Okay? That's what this is talking about. I don't get the sense that this is a legal issue, but I'm going to throw this out. It says it can indicate a looming legal issue, and appearing reversed, it may be an indication that the decision may go against you and or you may regret your previous behavior. It doesn't necessarily feel like that. Again, as I say, I read energies, not cards. To me, this really feels like being caught in some type of situation, organization, in which you are, it's kind of like, oh, I hate I ever did this. That's the way it feels. Okay? And now you're trying to figure out how to get out of it. All right, one more rifle. Here we go. So this is at the heart of the situation. What is the foundation? The Eight of Wands. Well, there you have it. Okay, movement, quick movement. Whether this be travel or news or messages coming across, but it's flying like this. This is the energy, I want to say it's Mercury and Leo. Okay? There's speed. So something either happens quickly or it moves quickly or you get news quickly. All right? What is the energy of the near or distant past? The Hermit. Procrastination. That's the word. What is the energy of the unknown factor coming in? The Two of Cups. That's interesting. And what is the factor of the unknown energy of the near or distant future? The Queen of Swords. Wow. Two major arcanas, a cup, a sword, and a wand. There are no pentacles here. So this is movement, desire, action, emotions, and thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, ideas. This is a court card. So this queen, even though this is a fire sign reading, we can all embody the different suits of the card at any moment, given the situation. The Queen of Swords requires clear thought, clear speech, directness. She can be abrupt. She can hurt your feelings, but she's going to always be truthful to you. Okay? She is inviting in the truth of something coming into the future. Right? But at the same time, she got that sword. She'll cut your head off if it ain't right. In effect, to me, she is holding the sword of justice. Okay? And as we know, justice is can be not necessarily fickle, but can be that idea of, man, you know, the judgment has come down. I feel like I got the short end of the stick. But even if you got the short end of the stick, what that means is that the situation is over now. Okay? You can't change what happened in the past, right? Okay. As a profession, the Queen of Swords can be a counselor, a lawyer, a police officer, a dentist, a surgeon, a chef, a writer, an editor, someplace, a scientist, a researcher. She's going to be either somebody who uses sharp tools to get the job done or has very, very keen intellect. All right? So I don't know if this energy is of you coming up. I also feel that it's kind of funny, this idea of not being able to get out of this situation. I think you're going to get an opportunity to do that quite rapidly. It may just be you have to get up and go somewhere. Typically, this card, when it shows up, has to do with travel related to business. Maybe there's some place that you got to go study something. Remember, I'm talking to you about that edifice that seems kind of, it's like an imposing building. I just keep seeing that. It's a large building. Not granite, maybe granite white. It's a large building, and I can't quite see the top of it, so I don't know if there's a steeple on the top or if it's a dome on the top. I get the sense that it's like a dome. Okay. But that's also the mind-body connection. I'm going to go back and get some more information about this. And then I have this Two of Cups. Now, the Two of Cups is usually, it is a card about partnership. Yes. It's not always a romantic card. It can be a card about business partners and or friendships. Having a partnership with someone in which there is mutual respect and admiration. You guys just get each other. But this card is also about the balancing the masculine and the feminine within yourself for a holistic approach. See the lion, the self, okay? The sun represents the self and the ego, and the caduceus there. The Asclepius, the two snakes entwined, a resurrection, so to speak. Let me first take a look at this Hermit card. Okay? Because there's something else. He's not just a scholar. He is also a teacher. It refers that you may be about to progress to a new stage of life. But first you need to remove any difficulties from a current situation in order to be able to make positive progress. It implies that you may have recently experienced difficulties that resulted in loneliness and isolation. Remember, we're talking about that card. It is an indication that someone has completed an important part of their life's journey and their goals have been attained. It implies that you should strive to divest yourself of thoughts of distrust and reservation. Again, that whole feeling sorry for yourself. It asks that you be more self-reliant and in control of events. This is especially true during times of warrior crisis. It brings a message that guidance and assistance is available to you. You must, though, keep in mind that your actions are your responsibilities. That's why I tell people when they come to get readings from me, my role is to pass along the messages. It's not to tell you what to do. You can believe all of it, part of it, some of it, none of it. You're responsible for your own actions. Okay? It asks that you be the seeker of knowledge. Seek and ye shall find. With excellent forethought, proper planning, and a willingness to study, you can achieve your goals with ease. Trust your abilities on all levels. It's asking you to tune into yourself and listen to your inner voice. But it also tells that you may need to retreat from the world for a while to be able to renew your creativity. Okay? Now, interestingly, it may be telling you that a material object or a spiritual desire may come to fruition. That's quite interesting. I did not know that about the Hermit. Now, I didn't look at what was over the whole reading. It is the Knight of Wands. There is news on the way, my friends. Quick news. Now, usually when this guy shows up, it's roughly about a week's time frame. Now, if this is a person, okay, and normally the knights don't show up as people, but this particular night, I do have to give this, I don't know, throw this little salt, into the pot. If this is the person coming back, and I'm going to tell you, under Mercury retrograde, old situations come back around. Okay, whether it's professional, personal, familial, old situations come back around. Shit comes back around All right, you moving along, doing your own thing, and boom, it's the same situation popping up again. And that's usually because the universe is trying to see exactly, there may be some unfinished business, and it's trying to see exactly if you're really ready to be done with that. So sometimes this will show up as an old lover coming back out of the past. He shows up under the Mercury retrograde, and as soon as Mercury turns direct, he is gone. Okay, so I'm not telling you that if you want to see this person again, or you want to rekindle the romance, or whatever that may be, that you shouldn't do that. You're a grown person. You are responsible for your own actions. Do know that once Mercury goes direct again, this person's going to be gone. Just as fast as they showed up, it's just as fast as they're going to leave. That's my warning. And that could be why these two cards now have come out. Maybe you've been feeling sorry about how the relationship ended. I don't know. Okay? Within a week. That's usually the time frame. So what does that leave me? It gives me the Two of Cups and the Eight of Wands as they relate to these two cards. That's the extra information. Okay? Two of Cups doesn't tell me anything being next to these two cards. All right? And I don't have any repeater numbers. Oh, I do. I have two twos. The Judgment is also a 2. It's a number 20. And in the numerology, 2 plus 0 is 2. So this is about a partnership. Is what it's about. Commitment, engagement, marriage. And that could be in any sense. Remember I was saying that sometimes I've seen this card show up when it tells you that a good business partner, you know, may be about to surface. Okay? Someone who gets you. Now, the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands. It is a money number. Fast-moving events and actions. If you are waiting for a reply to a letter, phone call, or email, you will not have to wait too much longer. The response could even contain the message of new love. If a situation has been stagnant for some time, you may be surprised by a rapid progression towards a conclusion. It tells that you are aware of your desires and should take the initiative to realize them. Study, apply yourself. It can indicate that you may be faced with obstacles and hindrances on all sides. This card can suggest that you may be facing inner turmoil, struggles, and confusion, but you will need to remain alert and adaptable in order to see your way through at this time. It can indicate lots of movement, be it traveling or even moving residence. It often indicates travel and connection with business. It says you need to set up some goals and make sure that they're viable and realistic so that you don't unduly disappoint yourself. Okay? What else does it tell me? Don't tell me nothing about being with these two cards. It don't. Okay? And so I don't think necessarily that I need to, I think ultimately no matter how the situation turns out for you, this might be your energy moving forward. Okay? She's got a very, very clear view and a very clear vision. Her head is not in the clouds. See that? She's elevated above the clouds. So she's got a clear view of what's in front of her. Okay? And I think that the Queen of Swords gets a bad rap. She's known as the divorcee queen. Someone who's bitter and jealous and all of that. And not all people are like that. You know, it just says she's had a few hard knocks. Okay? And this ain't her first rodeo. Okay? And so she can be a formidable opponent if you cross her. But if you're in trouble and you need some help, this is the person. This is the warrior queen. This is who you want. To me, she always represents like Athena. Okay? She's the warrior queen. And is Athena Venus? I don't know who I'm thinking about. The warrior queen. It's not Minerva. But anyway, make a long story short, if you're in trouble, this is who you want on your side. Okay? And sometimes this card can simply be about the idea of just doing the best thing for you, regardless of what anybody says. That's kind of how I get the energy off the Queen of Swords. Okay, I kind of like her. A lot of people are fearful of her, but she's not anybody to fear. She's a great queen. Think about Queen Elizabeth, the warrior queen, Elizabeth I. Okay, she was a great queen. She did a lot, and even now, 700 years later, we're still talking about her. Okay, she built a great empire that still exists today. So, formulate your question. Oh, there it is for the Psychic Oracle Tarot. I hope you're ready because the cards just dealt it. The Six of Cups, harmony. That's what it says. I think, nope, it's the Lovers. It's the Lovers. Now, let's see what the card has to say. Because even that card is about choice. It's not always about lovers and love relationships. It's about choice and decisions. This card signifies the possibility that a deep spiritual initiation, partnership, or union is taking place at this time or manifesting in the future. This does not always necessarily represent a love affair of the heart, but could signify other forms of relationships in your life, whether they are personal or business related. Remember, not all partnerships have to be one-to-one. They can be forged with a group, an organization, a pet, or even an incident or situation. The Harmony card is calling to let you know that it is time for you to make choices in certain relationships. The bonds you form with others are really about you, even in the most difficult situation. They are meant to be mirrors for you, always reflecting back what you need to see. This is why I tell people. So I get a lot of people come and get readings and they want to know, oh, it's my twin flame, or this, my soulmate. Soulmate relationships are never romantic. Never. Okay? They are never, this is the work I do in the Akashic Records. They are never, ever romantic. Okay? A soulmate relationship is that two souls have agreed to reincarnate together so that they can work out the karma. They didn't finish it the last lifetime. Okay? So they come back to work it out this time. And those can be some of the most difficult relationships you will ever have in your life. But the most important thing about any relationship is that you are always the most important person in the relationship. Always. It is never about the other person. It is always about you. The difficulty that you are having with that person that has shown up to show you what it is about yourself that you need to work on. That can be really, really difficult for us to see and even acknowledge. Okay? So I'm going to go back and read this again because the card says, it is calling to let you know that it is time for you to make choices in certain relationships. The bonds that you form with others are really about you, even in the most difficult situations, because they are meant to be mirrors for you, reflecting back what it is that you need to see. That's very important. Ask yourself, what am I learning from this relationship? What new qualities am I developing? Is this partnership in my highest good? How can I make it stronger? Are we teaching each other? What have I discovered or am still uncovering about myself through this union? Are the people in my life empowering and encouraging me to be all that I can? Within every relationship, there is an encoded lesson that you've hopefully gleaned, or in some cases, one that you may still need to learn. This, my friends, is the meaning of the Lovers. Whatever relationship you are in, that person that you are in relationship with are reflecting yourself back at you. Okay? Remember I talked about the masculine and the feminine within yourself? that is the most right relationship you can ever have, okay? And so that is what I have for you. Fire signs for the month of February. I'm really glad I can bring that message to you, okay? This may be you having to cut all of that crap out and walking away. Sometimes that's what it takes. Okay? Why? Because your mental health, your emotional health, you know, your mental well-being, your physical well-being is sometimes more important than the headaches you got to go through putting up with crap from people. Does that make any sense? And so I want you to be well, stay safe, and until next time, namaste.